I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my homies? Hope you're doing well, feeling blessed, having a good day, having a good week. This one's going to be Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Corey Sandhagen in the main event. An amazing main event. Now, guys, my bets from last week, I don't want to say they were terrible, but they certainly weren't good, right? We had Bruno Brazil at like amazing odds. We had Paddy Pimblett also at plus money, but then I got dusted on my favourites. So my underdogs, they kind of done well. I lost on Manel Kopp, which, you know, Manel Kopp, what was that? What was that? And guys, the main event, remember the name. Hey, remember the name. That performance, just phenomenal. Really phenomenal. The wrestling, he ragdolled him. And Belal Muhammad is, you know, someone that I normally take as an underdog. But against someone like Leon Edwards, I did not expect it. Oh my goodness. Ragdolled. Dominant. Now guys, as always, if you see your name on the screen, if you see that, then you know that. That's money. Let's go. Moving into the first matchup of the card, we've got Cedric Stumas taking on Denis Tiuliulin. And guys, on paper, this matchup here, it's not the best fight on paper. But in terms of, you know, entertainment, in terms of what you're going to get inside the octagon, this is going to be a fun fight. Because there's one major difference between Cedric Stumas and Denis Tiuliulin. And in my opinion, that big difference is Cedric Stumas, in my opinion, he hasn't got a chin. He doesn't want to get cracked in the face. And obviously, you know, being a fighter, you do have to accept that you're going to get hit. Your defense may be good. Your skills may be good. But you do need to accept you're going to get cracked in the face. And with Cedric Stumas, I kind of see, I see someone that doesn't want to get hit. Now, Denis Tiuliulin, on the flip side, this guy does kind of enjoy getting hit. You know, he'll walk forward. And he's almost like a Russian wish version of Sean Strickland. Just without the defense, you know, without the Philly shell. He'll walk forward, be super aggressive. And it's almost like he enjoys getting hit. I kind of feel like Denis Tiuliulin would play a drunk Russian in a movie where he offers you some vodka. And if you accept, we're going to bare knuckle. If you decline, then we're certainly going to bare knuckle. That's Denis Tiuliulin right there. I want to scrap. I want to walk forward. I want to be in a real fight. That's Denis Tiuliulin. And on the flip side, as I've mentioned, Cedric Stumas doesn't really want that. His chin isn't made for that. His mentality is not that. So in terms of, you know, what Cedric Stumas wants to do and also what Denis Tiuliulin wants to do, there's a big difference. And that makes for a fun fight. Now, guys, I'm going to side with Cedric Stumas just purely based on, I believe he's, you know, skillfully better than Denis Tiuliulin. I believe his skill's better. I don't believe his chin's better. I don't believe his pressure's better. I don't believe his toughness is better than Denis. But in terms of skill, you know, kicks, distance control, speed, accuracy, grappling, all those things, then in my opinion, Cedric Stumas, that's the pick. I'm moving into a matchup between Jai Herbert taking on Rolando Bedoya. And guys, this one's tough, very tough. If we're making a prediction based on, you know, experience, then obviously we're picking Jai. Jai's been in the UFC for a while. He's a good boxer. He's decent, right? But in my opinion, there's not much power, there's not much speed, and he's kind of defensively bad. Jai Herbert, he's okay. He's never been a great English fighter, but, you know, Rolando Bedoya, if he doesn't get into the pocket, if he doesn't find the chin of Jai Herbert, if he doesn't get into that range of, you know, finding big power punches, then Jai Herbert might just piece him up on the outside, you know, stay long, stay using the jab, mix in some kicks. And guys, don't forget, Jai Herbert actually dropped Ilia Topuria. He dropped him. You know what I'm saying? So don't completely sleep on Jai Herbert. You know, he can find the jab. He can find his strikes at range. And that may actually frustrate Rolando Bedoya. Especially if Rolando Bedoya can't find his range. Can't get into that distance where he's finding big, powerful punches. This one's tough. But in my opinion, give me the Black Country banger. Give me Jai Herbert. That's the pick. Moved into a matchup between Victoria Dudikova taking on Sam Hughes. And guys, in my opinion, Victoria Dudikova should dominate Sam Hughes. She should dominate Sam Hughes in the stand-up and in the grappling because, guys, if you notice with Sam Hughes, she kind of has to wait for the opponent to get tired. You know, look at her performance against Estela Nunes. Early in that fight, she's getting dusted. Then against Amorim, you know, she nearly gets subbed in the first round and then Amorim gets tired. She takes over. She starts to dominate Amorim. Against Elise Reed, you know, obviously not that good. But yeah, it just seems to me that if you're going to beat someone like Sam Hughes, then don't get tired. If you don't get tired against Sam Hughes, you should be able to, you know, dust her up, at least in the stand-up. So against someone like Victoria Dudikova that has really, really sharp boxing, fast hands and very good wrestling, against someone like that, you'd kind of have to, you know, wait for Victoria Dudikova to fatigue, to get tired. So guys, I'm going to side with Victoria Dudikova just purely based on, you know, I believe she's got more skill than Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is more of a scrapper. You know, she's going to wait around. She's going to try to push the opponent against the fence, try to slightly win rounds, make rounds close. But I just believe Victoria Dudikova, she's more skillful. You know, her boxing's good, her wrestling's good. And guys, don't get me wrong, Sam Hughes, you know, she's going to fight for your money. She's one of those. She will fight for your money. But it's going to be more heart and determination that's fighting for your money more so than skill. So give me Dudikova. Now moving into a matchup between Shamil Gaziev taking on Don'Tale Mayes. And guys, in my opinion, if you bet this fight, it's almost like playing red or black on the roulette wheel. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the betting line doesn't say that. The betting line has Shamil Gaziev over -200. But in my opinion, how? Look at the cardio of Shamil Gaziev in his last fight. The cardio was so dusty. So guys, in my opinion, I can't accept -250 on Shamil Gaziev. The cardio, pure dust. Yes, his boxing in round one is good. His pressure in round one, his ability to break the opponent early, it's all good. But -250, look at the cardio. It's pure dust. And on the flip side, Don'Tale Mayes, he's very unique. And when I say unique, I don't mean that as a compliment to Don'Tale Mayes. His style is very unique. It's very weird. But that may be enough against someone that has, you know, dusty cardio. Guys, I'm going to side with the one-round cardio, Shamil Gaziev. But, you know, like I said, if you bet this fight, you're a true degenerate. It's playing red or black on the roulette wheel. Don't do it. Now, moving into a matchup between Muhammad Yahya taking on Kai Fernandez. And guys, both these fighters had UFC debut losses, right? You're looking at Kai Fernandez in his UFC debut against Mark Diakise. And I did bet on and also predicted Mark Diakise would win that fight. His wrestling was ultimately the reason that he was able to beat Kai Fernandez. But guys, overall, Kai Fernandez did show to be very decent in his UFC debut. Yes, he lost the fight, but you're seeing that his kicks were very decent. His management of range on the feet, you know, he looked very decent in that loss. It's just, you know, the takedown defense and the inability to work back to the feet. Now, on the flip side with Muhammad Yahya, guys, his UFC debut, it just wasn't on the same level as Kai Fernandez. He did lose the fight, just like Kai Fernandez. But guys, Muhammad Yahya, the performance, the nature of the performance, it just wasn't there. You know, backpedaling, his cardio was bad, his chin was bad, the offense, it wasn't there against Trevor Peek. It just looked like a fight where I'm watching Muhammad Yahya and I'm thinking, why did the UFC sign this guy? You know, that's what I'm thinking. Watching that performance, it just wasn't good. So guys, in my opinion, very easy pick. Very easy pick. Give me the Brazilian. Give me Kai Fernandez to dust up Muhammad Yahya. Now guys, moving into a matchup between Alonzo Menifield taking on Azamat Murzakanov. And guys, I've never picked against Azamat Murzakanov. So far in his UFC career, I've picked him every time, even as an underdog against Dustin Jacoby. And against Dustin Jacoby, he did win that fight. But there was, you know, moments where Dustin Jacoby was winning that fight. It's just, you know, the chin of Dustin Jacoby, it did get checked at certain times by Azamat. And Azamat was able to, you know, win the fight by knocking down Dustin, you know, hurting him at moments in the fight. But guys, overall, the control of Azamat Murzakanov, the distance management, the control on the feet, that's like the best thing in his game, in my opinion. But that's kind of interesting with this fight, because if you look at Alonzo Menifield, especially prior to, you know, the Carlos Ulberg fight, because the Carlos Ulberg fight, there wasn't even a fight. Alonzo Menifield just runs at Carlos, and within 10 seconds, he's on the floor, and we're all saying, you know, get dusted. Off to Ben Askren. dusted. But guys, if you look at Alonzo Menifield prior to that fight with Carlos Ulberg, if you look at Alonzo Menifield, he's finding the jab against Jimmy Crute. You know, Jimmy Crute couldn't get him to the mat. He's forced to fight on the feet. And Alonzo Menifield, he was in control. He was finding the jab, you know, in control of that fight. But against Carlos Ulberg, that's out the window. You know, he's just running into the fire and he got burnt. He got dusted. So guys, are we going to see Alonzo Menifield do the same thing where he disrespects Azamat Murzakanov, he doesn't want to fight at range and he just runs at the opponent? Are we going to see Alonzo Menifield do the same thing? Well, probably not. And as I mentioned with Azamat Murzakanov, his best attribute is, you know, controlling the range, staying at, you know, distance and being in control of that range. If Alonzo Menifield goes back to, you know, being patient, which he should do, I think he gets dominated. So guys, in a fight for Alonzo Menifield where he's coming off a bad knockout loss, a quick knockout loss against Carlos Ulberg, I kind of can't trust him to fight smart against Azamat Murzakanov. And guys, even if he does fight smart against Azamat Murzakanov, he's going to get dominated at distance because that's Azamat's game. Azamat wants to control the fight on the feet. So even if, you know, Alonzo Menifield fights smart, fights composed, fights patient, that's Azamat's whole game. That's his game right there. So give me Azamat Murzakanov. Now guys, moving into a matchup between Joel Alvarez taking on Alves Brenner. And this one's very interesting because both these guys have excellent jiu-jitsu. Their jiu-jitsu, their grappling is extremely good. So guys, that's kind of what's interesting with this matchup. You know, they're both black belts. They're both very, very good on the mat. So are you going to side with Joel Alvarez based on, you know, Joel Alvarez being the better grappler? Or are you going to side with Brenner Alves because you believe Brenner Alves can out-grapple Joel Alvarez? Now, they're both black belts. They're both black belts. So looking for, you know, advantages in other areas, that would be wise. So looking at the stand-up of Joel Alvarez, it's pretty good. And looking at the stand-up of Brenner Alves, it's the same as do Bronx. You know, use your Muay Thai on the feet. And if the opponent takes you to the mat, then we're going to play jiu-jitsu. So guys, it seems to me that the matchmakers, they made a fight where they're both very, very good on the mat. Then you're looking at the stand-up of Joel Alvarez and also the stand-up of Brenner Alves. And as I've mentioned, you know, their stand-up is pretty good. It's okay. So guys, in a matchup where there's no real advantage for Joel Alvarez, there's no real advantage for Brenner Alves. In a matchup like this, the underdog, that's the play every time. When it's this close, you know what I'm saying? When it's this close, yeah, the underdog. Brenner Alves, that's the pick. Now moving into a matchup between Mackenzie Dern taking on Lupi Godinez. And guys, as we know with Mackenzie Dern, her grappling is extremely good. But guys, what else? What else is good with Mackenzie Dern? And I know some of you, you know, you're going to go to the comments. You're going to actually answer that. But guys, on a real note, is her boxing good? No, it's not. Is her kicking good? No, it's not. Is her defense good? No, it's not. Her grappling, yes. But guys, the rest of her game, it's really not there. Her grappling is so good, but the rest, you know, where's the rest? Now with Lupi Godinez, I know she lost a similar fight to Jandy Doba, who's an elite jiu-jitsu player, the same as Mackenzie Dern. She lost a similar fight, but she is still more complete. She is still more well-rounded compared to Mackenzie Dern. Because Lupi Godinez, she can box, she can wrestle, her cardio's good, she's tough, she moves her feet. You know, she's more complete, she's more well-rounded. And guys, in my opinion, the one who's more complete, the one who's more well-rounded, typically wins more. Typically wins more. So guys, give me the underdog, give me Lupi Godinez. Now moving into a matchup between Tony Ferguson taking on Michael Chiesa. And guys, literally all week in my Discord, I've been speaking about Tony Ferguson literally all week. And guys, I'm just amazed. I am so amazed with the betting line. Guys, look at the betting line. Tony Ferguson plus 500. Guys, come on. Guys, come on. Now, there's going to be people that say, you know, Tony Ferguson, super old, so slow. His ability to cover the distance, it's gone. His footwork, it's gone. His grappling, it's not as good as what it used to be. The damage that he's taken is showing more and more. He's on a 7-fight losing streak, right? People are going to make all of these claims. And guys, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. It's all true. It's all true. But guys, look at who he's fighting. He's fighting Michael Chiesa. Guys, come on now. Dominic Reyes vibes. Tony Ferguson won round 1 against Michael Chandler. This is not Justin Gaethje. This is not Do Bronx. This is not Paddy Pimblett. This is not Bobby Green. This is Michael Chiesa. He's a plus 500 underdog. Guys, at plus 500 against Michael Chiesa, not against Francis Ngannou, not against Chandler, not against Gaethje, not against, anybody that's going to really cause damage. Michael Chiesa's going to, push him against the fence, try to maul him on the mat. And there's a chance, potentially he does maul him, right? But what if Michael Chiesa slows down? Guys, Tony Ferguson's been super active. Yes, he's been losing, but he's been so active against Michael Chiesa at plus 500. How do you not side with Tony? How do you not do it? Give me Tony Ferguson all day. And if he loses, you lost to Michael Chiesa. You're losing to someone that's, so far down the rankings. And in my opinion, like I said, it's a Dominic Reyes vibes. It's one of those. How do you not back Tony Ferguson? This is not Michael Chandler. This is not Gaethje. This is not any of those. This is Michael Chiesa. Guys, for anyone that's siding with Michael Chiesa, how do you do that? At minus 700, how do you do that? I would love to see Tony dust him up. And I think he does. Now, guys, moving into a phenomenal fight. We've got Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Marlon Chito Vera. This one's phenomenal. And guys, in my opinion, this one's so tough to pick. It's so tough to pick because Marlon Chito Vera, he's an absolute dog. He's such a dog. He is a slow starter, but, he's so tough. You're seeing against Sean O'Malley, the knee he took, the knee to the dome, and he stays in the fight. He stays conscious. Guys, Marlon Chito Vera, the guy's a real dog. Now on the flip side, Deiveson Figueiredo, he's so well-rounded. His jiu-jitsu, his karate stance with the powerful right hand. He's so well-rounded, right? The former champion at flyweight. And now he's trying to become a champion at bantamweight. And so far, looking really good, moving up a weight class. Looking so good at 135. But yeah, this one is so tough. Guys, I kind of think the Brazilian, Deiveson Figueiredo. And guys, also factoring in, Marlon Chito Vera losing to Sean O'Malley. When you get to that title shot and you lose, it's kind of difficult to stay motivated. And with Deiveson Figueiredo, he's still trying to climb to that title fight. So guys, it just seems to me that the motivation and the skill, and also, Marlon Chito Vera being a slow starter, all those things combined, it makes me lean towards Brazil. It makes me lean towards Deiveson Figueiredo. So that's the pick in a very, very good fight. A very tough fight to predict. Give me the Brazilian. Now, guys, moving into the co-main event, we've got Sharon Magomedov taking on Michael Oleksiejczuk. And I'm quite confident that Sharon Magomedov should dust up Michael Oleksiejczuk. And guys, the main reason as to why I think that, if you look at the defense of Michael Oleksiejczuk, it's so dusty. He's just there to be hit. To the legs, to the body, to the head. He's so defensively bad. And he also just went to Snap City against the homie, Kevin Holland. So not only did he get dusted recently, he's just so defensively bad. He'll walk forward. He's got the experience. He's got the toughness. But, Sharon Magomedov, his Muay Thai, his kicks on the feet. So guys, just thinking about the matchup, I can't really see a performance for Michael Oleksiejczuk where he shows to be defensively good. I can't see that, especially against someone that's so good on the feet, someone that's so violent with their Muay Thai. That's Sharon Magomedov. His kicks, his kicks on the feet, they're so violent, so quick. He'll find the calf kick. Sharon Magomedov on the feet, he's violent. But guys, Sharon Magomedov doesn't have any grappling. He has no wrestling. So will Michael Oleksiejczuk, with the experience, decide to, try to grapple with Sharon Magomedov? Because he's so bad on the feet. Defensively, Michael Oleksiejczuk on the feet, he's just not good. And offensively, on the feet, Sharon Magomedov, he's very good. So guys, in my opinion, give me Sharon Magomedov. Moving into a phenomenal main event, we've got Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Corey Sandhagen. And guys, Corey Sandhagen right now, he's in great form. He's winning every single main event. He dusted Rob Font. He dusted up Song Yadong. And he also dusted Marlon Vera, which in my opinion was never a split. When the judges said split decision, I was like, who spiked my blunt? Who spiked my blunt? That's not a split. That's domination. So guys, understand that Corey Sandhagen, he's so experienced on the feet. He's moving like a modern day Dominic Cruz. You know, the footwork of Corey Sandhagen is so unorthodox. You don't see it anywhere else. You know, show me a fighter that's moving in the way of Corey Sandhagen. You don't see it. His footwork, his experience, his striking, his ability to set up like flying knees and all stuff like that. Spinning kicks. You know, his creativity. He's really a mixed martial artist. He's so good on the feet. But guys, Umar Nurmagomedov, this guy's a Russian. He's a phenomenal grappler, a phenomenal wrestler. But what makes Umar Nurmagomedov so different? And as you guys know, it's the stand-up. You know, Umar Nurmagomedov, he's almost like a Russian wonder boy. You know, the sideways stance, the footwork, the kicks on the feet. He's so well-rounded. And in my opinion, if Corey Sandhagen wins another main event, and this time against Umar Nurmagomedov, if he wins another main event, that's a madness. That is a madness, especially against someone that's so well-rounded, a real prospect. Umar Nurmagomedov, guys, in my opinion, he's going to fight for a title. He may be the guy to dethrone Sean O'Malley. But guys, then again, to be the one to dethrone Sean O'Malley, you've got to win this fight. You've got to be the one to win this fight, because whoever wins this fight, they're going to fight for a title. So if you're Corey Sandhagen, you've been doing some great work. You've been doing some phenomenal work, but staying off the mat, staying away from the wrestling of Umar Nurmagomedov, that's the best way to win this fight, without a doubt. And if you're Umar Nurmagomedov, yes, your stand-up is very different to all your brothers, all your cousins, you know, all the Russians. It's very different, right? But against someone like Corey, just wrestle. Just grapple. So guys, this one's all about, you know, who's going to go in there and make a statement? Who's going to do that? In my opinion, I think Umar Nurmagomedov potentially submits Corey Sandhagen. I think he might dust him up on the mat. So give me Umar Nurmagomedov. Guys, like I said, whoever wins this fight, they're fighting for a title. It's an amazing fight. Give me Umar. As always, guys, drop down your main event, your co-main event, your Money City bets. Drop all that good stuff in the comment section below. And as always, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Peace.